He literally just pulled the "we had a black president" line. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, because Obama was pro-black and helping dismantle the systems that, disproportionately have been destroying his own, right? Conservatives.
Now come here. Why do you disappoint me? Second by second, you waste my time.
So, as soon as February shows up, and it's Black History Month, I thought, I wonder how many rakes the right is going to step on this month. Because when it comes to race relations, the right is brain dead. Because, of course, it didn't take too long before someone said some nonsense. Because it didn't take that long for this grifter to start saying some stupid shit that, of course, is going to make y'all look bad. And I rarely use the term grifter because I don't think there are actually that many grifters. I think there are a lot of idiots and a lot of partisan ideologues, but I don't think there's that many grifters. But I've said he is. He's the one who goes out there. You have these videos of him in protest talking about he's fighting the fight and everything. And guess what? He showed up for 10 minutes, took some pictures, maybe did one quick interview, got in the car and left. And I know because I've seen him do this personally multiple times. Of course, on my last video where I talked about him doing that, what happened about a couple months later? His free speech platform he was going to hold on to make sure it was a safe haven of free speech, he sold to a corpo that now has no obligation to protecting that free speech. He got his payday and left. But I wouldn't pay attention to him if some talking points on the right, I hear some obnoxious talking points and I try to find where did these come from. Because I want to address the clowns where these come from. Because people watch it and then they repeat it. And instead of just taking a list of talking points, I'd rather go to the source and go, hey, don't do this. What this guy is doing, don't do this. This is stupid. So for Black History Month, right at the start, he makes this video. This take was so brain dead. He had to think of this, say it, record the video, watch the video back, edit it, and then post it and say, yeah, that's the message I want to put out for Black History Month. I thought your goal was to grow the right. And you're going to do this? See, it's people like this who say, when I'm about to show you, he's going to say stuff like this and then talk about the Democratic plantation later. I'm like, maybe it's because you all do things like this.
All right, we got one more for you. I wanted to do a little throwback clip because February is Black History Month, as they say. That's what I'm told in my Google Calendar. And we found this video of Morgan Freeman on 60 Minutes. This is about 20 years ago, talking to Mike Wallace about the importance or perhaps the insignificance of Black History Month.
I'll just let this whole clip play because I know most people have seen it at this point because it's old. But just in case you don't remember or for context, I'm going to let it play. Even at the time, I still thought this was a brain dead take, but all right.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
All right, I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You're going to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Now, I hope most reasonable people can see why that's a bad take. Not talking about a problem doesn't make the problem go away. Okay? The right has not learned this. When black people come to them and say, we have these systemic problems we want addressed, and y'all just keep saying, stop talking about it, it's not going away. The effects of these systems continuing to persist don't go away because we don't talk about it. Now, I don't agree necessarily with the concept of color blindness being racist itself. I think it can be. I think it's situational. But the idea of a post-racial colorblind society, this is a utopian idea. It does not exist. Noticing race is innate to humans. We notice physical differences in each other. And there will always be moronic people or some very clever people who will notice these things and will try to justify why they're better than them, on the basis of these immutable characteristics. Now, that's why we made things like civilization, and we teach people this is wrong. It might come naturally, and it's wrong. Humans are fallen. These things we do are wrong. But ignoring it doesn't make it go away. If somebody's acting on it, we have to address it. We can't just not talk about it. Because look, in the context of that clip, this was before the left was wildin' and saying everything was racist and just basically watering down the term to mean nothing. Anyway, let's see how this gets worse.
Pretty good, huh? Remember the old days when you could turn on network television and hear something that actually made sense? Look, we've got a month for everything. There's Gay Pride Month. There's Black History Month. We got months for all of these things. It's all of this sort of symbolic silliness. But the real...
Now, first off, I hate this. Alphabet Month, completely different. Don't ever compare black people and alphabet, okay? Completely different histories. Completely different dynamic in society. Completely different challenges. Okay? They're not the same. 2. Our month was first. And why does it bother some people that we have a month to celebrate black excellence? The funny thing is, in the clip, you see, is there a white history month? In a classroom, in a history classroom, all the other months you are taught history through a Eurocentric perspective. You are taught about slavery from a Eurocentric perspective. You notice how they always will do things like, slavery existed all over the world. Yeah, but not all slavery was the same, and European chattel slavery was very unique. We don't differentiate those things. When Black History Month is shown up in a high school classroom, that is even taught from a Eurocentric perspective. They won't teach you everything King said. They won't even touch Malcolm, because they'll just say he's too extreme. They won't even acknowledge his post-Mecca stuff. They'll cherry pick King from his one speech, ignoring all the other stuff he said, because it would make certain kids uncomfortable, because you'd have to have a difficult race discussion. Or more so, racial dynamics throughout American history. I just find it interesting that black people contributed just as much to building this country as white people did. And some will complain because we have a month for celebrating black excellence. I already hear the ignorance that it's like Europeans made the rules of the country. Okay, good, but they didn't make it alone into what it is right now. That was a group effort. We did just as much. But most of it got ignored.
Moment in that, the kernel in that little video there, is when Morgan Freeman looks directly at Mike Wallace after he says he's Jewish, and he goes, "Do you want one?" Meaning, do you want a month, a Jewish history month? Maybe there is one. I actually don't even know. They probably add.
If Jews want to organize and have a Jewish history month, I say go ahead, do it. You want to have a month, celebrate Jewish excellence? Okay, all for it. Go ahead. I don't even have a problem with that. I imagine the right wouldn't either, since apparently if you have any sort of grievances on the right and you're Jewish, they immediately take everything you do extremely seriously. So I'm sure most of the right would jump on this in 2 seconds. But yeah, do it if you want to do it. I'm all for it.
Added one since. Do you want one? And Mike Wallace is right. No, whoa, why would I want one of those, man? I don't want that. That tells you all you need to know. These things have nothing to do with solving the problems. We did such a freaking good job in America of solving these problems.
There's a difference between making progress and doing a good job of solving the problem.
Think about where we were at 10 years ago before we let wokeness and BLM and this modern pernicious racism of the left into the system.
Oh, here we go with it's only the left. It's only the left that caused the new spike in racism that's been happening. Really? What about Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick trying to blame the COVID surge in his state on all black people? And nobody on the right said anything. What about when that judge called that black dude the hard R multiple times and the right defended her? She has still not stepped down. Right? What isn't it the right always saying, wasn't saying we're all Americans, and then as soon as it comes to problems in the black community, oh, you need to fix your stuff. You need to be responsible. You need to fix, stop doing X, Y, and Z and build up your own community. And then when Amazon or something goes, shop at black-owned businesses and put money in these communities, y'all go, oh, that's racist. Why should I go out of the way to support the community that I'm keep telling pull yourself up by the bootstraps? I'm sorry, where was the right to condemn Paul Joseph Watson for going on a literal neo-Nazi rant? And yeah, you can go watch my video on that. I break that down because I don't use that word lightly. Oh, and how can we not forget when anti-Semitic hate crimes increased? And Asian hate crimes increased, and the right yelled Jewish lives matter, and the right yelled Asian lives matter. But then when black hate crimes rise and black people say black lives matter, now it's all lives matter. Excuse me? You need to be inclusive. It's both of y'all. You both contributed to this. Because the right is becoming more and more racially galvanized. Some people think they were always like this. That's not true. There was 2015. I can't remember the YouTuber's name. Who was that one girl? If somebody knows her name, let me know. Who was upcoming on the right, and then she made a race realism video, and the right yeeted her like that, and her channel was gone, and she was never heard from again. Now we have a channel about, 19, 20 times bigger, going on white nationalists like ethno-state rants, and nobody on the right is saying anything now. You all have changed. So stop. I'm sick of this. The left are the real racists. No, you both are.
When we voted in that two-time black president, Barack Obama, with hope and change, whether you liked Obama or not, I mean, America did vote in a black president. How many European countries have black prime ministers?
He literally just pulled the "we had a black president" line. Oh my God. Yeah. Because Obama was pro-black and helping dismantle the systems that, disproportionately have been destroying his own, right? What the fuck did Obama do for black people? Obama did nothing for us. Go ask all the black people in Flint. I'm sure they like Obama a lot. Obama, who everyone surrounding him is white, we just put the black head at the front, and now it's, we solved racism. I don't like how the right pretends not to understand the concept of weaponizing black faces against black people. This has gone back to the start of America. This has always been a tactic used. Obama didn't do shit for us. He did not care about us. He showed no concern for us whatsoever. All Obama cared about was continuing foreign wars, American imperialism, and making sure the oligarchs stay in control. He didn't give a crap about us. He didn't do anything for us. The problem with this is the left and the right contribute to this. The left will call everything racist, so then the term doesn't mean anything, so then we have actual instances of actual racism. The right will be dismissive. I mean, they've always been pretty dismissive, but I mean, they're becoming more so. But I'm sick of this pretending that the right doesn't notice race. They do. It depends on who. Depending on who it is, they tend to respond a little bit different. Because like I said, in the early example, Asians and Jews got a pretty immediate response. And then black people got brushed off and ignored. Again. And the Democrats did it too. Because those stop hate bills were bipartisan. And there was none for us. They don't care about us either. But this idea of these idiots see it everywhere, so I'm not gonna take it serious at all when someone makes those claims. That's just gonna create the problem in the other direction.
So that's a great point. Morgan Freeman doesn't sit down in that interview and go, well, who am I talking to today? Oh, it's white anchor Mike Wallace. And I hope that Mike Wallace didn't sit down that day and go, who am I talking to? It's black actor Morgan Freeman.
Even now, nobody thinks like that. Okay.
No one cares about this stuff anymore except the wokesters. Yes, are there 50 neo-Nazis somewhere? Yeah, there are. There are a couple. Do they have any institutional power? Does anyone give them the time of day?
Let me guess. His idea of racists in controlling some institutions of power, those people who are gonna like go up there and just be like, yeah, I'm a racist and I'm in a position of power. Or do you think it's a little more subtle than that? Here's one to agree. How about de Blasio and Cuomo? I think that's an example the right would agree with me on. They'll paint Black Lives Matter in the street, but then they'll talk about how much they're listening to the black community, how much they care about them. But then when a BLM rally shows up and they go, no mandates, it's disproportionately affecting us and our wealth. What'd they do? Nothing. They just ignored them and brushed them off. Because we know what those politicians think of us. They don't care about our voice. They say they will. They won't. They won't pass policies, that will benefit us. They don't care. They just want the vote. They think very lowly of us. They're not going to outwardly go out there and say, yep, I am making institutional racism. Because, take that, blacks. Or do you think there's a lot more subtleties to some of these people?
No. Should they be allowed to be outside holding a flag? Yeah. Free speech. Okay. But we have to get to the point, and we were so close. I mean, that's really the point. We were so close to getting to the point where we were post-race. And just as we were there, they pulled the rug out.
Can someone pinpoint the year in America where we were almost post-racial? I would really like to know. I would say the closest we got to unifying for a bit as a country was 9/11. Even then, there was issues with Muslim hate after that. But, that is one of the dumbest fucking things I have ever heard. That America almost reached a post-racial state. Wow. Okay. Well, if this is how y'all think, if y'all want to just try and come in here and go, why have Black History Month? We should just get rid of it. Don't act shocked when you can't get black votes or black support on the right. When your talking heads say stuff like this, all right, we're not stupid. We notice this stuff. And all you're doing is making yourselves look like clowns.